Big twist, Rhea Ripley pregnant, Buddy Mathews overjoyed as fans react in shock. Today's news has left fans completely stunned, as Rhea Ripley has suddenly been revealed to be pregnant. At first, many people could hardly believe it, since not long ago Ripley had openly stated that she wasn't ready to have children yet. She had made it clear that her main focus was her wrestling career, and that starting a family wasn't something she was planning in the near future. But now, it seems her mindset has shifted, leaving everyone wondering what caused the sudden change of heart. For fans, this is both a shocking and emotional development. Ripley, who is known as one of the most dominant and powerful women in WWE, has always presented herself as a fierce competitor who puts her career above everything else. The idea of her stepping into this new chapter of life caught many completely off guard. Her husband, Buddy Mathews, who currently wrestles in AEW, is said to be overjoyed with the news. The couple tied the knot in 2024, and while their relationship has always been admired by fans, many did not expect this next step to come so soon. The surprising part of this revelation is that not long ago Ripley had made it sound like motherhood was something she was going to delay. Now, with the news of her pregnancy, it seems her personal desires have changed, and perhaps she has decided that the time is right to take on a new role away from the ring. Fans are already speculating about what this means for her career, especially since she has been one of WWE's biggest stars and most reliable attractions over the past several years. For someone like Ripley, whose entire identity has been built around strength, dominance, and resilience, the idea of balancing that with motherhood adds a completely new layer to her story. Buddy Mathews, for his part, could not be happier. Reports suggest that he is thrilled about becoming a father and is ready to support Ripley as she begins this journey. For him, this is not only a personal joy, but also a sign of the deep bond they share as a couple. Fans of both AEW and WWE have been reacting with surprise, but also excitement, as they celebrate the couple's next chapter. While it remains unclear how this will affect Ripley's wrestling schedule, one thing is certain. This news has changed the way fans see her, adding an entirely new dimension to her legacy, both inside and outside the ring. Rhea Ripley and Buddy Mathews may currently find themselves working on opposite sides of the wrestling world, but the possibility of the two one day coming together for an on-screen story is something that intrigues fans. The pair, who made headlines after tying the knot in 2024, have long been admired not only for their individual careers, but also for their real-life bond outside the ring. While WWE and AEW continue to operate as rival companies, many fans have wondered if there will ever be an opportunity for Ripley and Mathews to collaborate in the same promotion, even if just for a short storyline. Ripley has never shied away from blending elements of her personal and professional life when it suits the moment. Although she has never showcased her real-life romances in a WWE storyline, she has thrived in kayfabe relationships. One of the most memorable examples was her unexpected on-screen partnership with Dominic Mysterio. Speaking in a recent interview, Ripley admitted that she initially never saw the pairing coming. But once the angle was introduced, it turned into one of the most compelling storylines of her career. She explained how natural their dynamic became, highlighting the balance of her brute strength and Mysterio's sneaky persona. The chemistry surprised her just as much as it did fans, but the result spoke for itself, as the pairing quickly turned into one of WWE's most popular acts. That relationship eventually ran its course, and by 2024, Ripley and Mysterio had officially split on screen. Mysterio soon entered a new kayfabe romance with Liv Morgan, a move that opened up fresh stories for him, while Ripley returned her focus to singles dominance. Yet despite the end of that chapter, Ripley's reflections on her time working alongside Mysterio revealed just how much she values the ability to connect with a partner in front of the camera. For her, it showed that an unlikely pairing can work if the chemistry is right, and that leaves her at least open to the idea of doing something similar with Mathews should the stars ever align. Ripley admitted that the door is not completely shut on the idea of working with her husband, though she was cautious not to overpromise. She acknowledged that Mathews' current career in AEW and his absence from WWE for more than 4 years make the situation complicated. Still, wrestling fans know well that in this industry, nothing is ever truly impossible. Wrestlers leave, return, and reinvent themselves all the time, and a Mathews comeback is never entirely out of the question. Ripley herself recognized this in her comments, noting that if he ever did find his way back to WWE, it would create an opportunity for them to explore something together. At the same time, Ripley was honest about her reservations. She is aware that if she and Mathews were to join forces on television, comparisons would immediately be drawn to her time with Mysterio. That dynamic was unique, organic, and caught lightning in a bottle in a way that is difficult to replicate. Ripley admitted she isn't sure if she would want to try and recreate that magic with anyone else, even with her own husband, because she sees her storyline with Mysterio as a special, one-of-a-kind moment in her career. To her, forcing a similar story with Mathews might feel less authentic and more like an imitation, which could undercut the genuine chemistry that fans responded to before. This hesitancy shows just how much Ripley values authenticity in her work. The partnership with Mysterio wasn't planned as a massive long-term story from the start, yet it blossomed into one of the most successful WWE angles of recent years because of how real it felt in the moment. Trying to engineer a similar effect may not carry the same impact. For Ripley, it seems important to let things happen naturally rather than attempt to duplicate something for the sake of it. Still, the idea of Ripley and Mathews standing side by side in a WWE ring is something that continues to captivate fans. Both are incredibly talented in-ring performers with distinctive styles. Ripley has cemented herself as one of WWE's top stars, dominating the women's division with her power, charisma, and presence. Mathews, meanwhile, has continued to impress in AEW and beyond, showcasing his athleticism and striking ability. Together, the two could present a formidable on-screen duo, bringing not only their personal connection, but also their professional skills into the spotlight. The question remains whether WWE would ever be willing to open the door for such a partnership, especially given Mathews' current alignment with AEW. Crossovers between the two companies are rare, and while professional wrestling has seen many shocking moments, a direct collaboration of that kind seems unlikely under the present circumstances. A more realistic path would involve Mathews eventually making a return to WWE, something fans still hold out hope for despite the time that has passed since his departure. For now, Ripley continues to thrive as one of the faces of WWE, holding her ground as a dominant performer and remaining open to whatever possibilities the future may hold. She may not be campaigning for a storyline with her husband, but she hasn't ruled it out either. Her comments suggest a willingness to let things unfold naturally, keeping the door cracked open while staying focused on her current trajectory. In professional wrestling, the unexpected often becomes reality, and fans understand that relationships, both personal and professional, can play a major role in shaping storylines. Whether or not Ripley and Mathews ever share the stage in WWE remains to be seen, but the intrigue surrounding the possibility speaks volumes about their popularity as individuals and as a couple. For now, Ripley seems content to let speculation swirl while she continues her reign as one of WWE's most dominant stars, leaving fans to wonder if someday they'll get to see her and her husband standing side by side under the bright lights of the same ring.